What it do, YouTube? MGM for Life here, bringing you a new anti-meta deck that I've created that revolves around this card, the last warrior from another planet, and completely shuts your opponent down from doing anything. Now, this is the fusion monster, obviously, and you guys may not know this monster because it's very old and nobody uses it. But it requires two monsters, Mario Kutai and Zambira the Dark. And when this card is fusion summoned, you have to destroy all monsters on your field. And as long as this card remains face up on the field, neither player can normal summon, flip summon, or special summon monsters. Now, this is an amazing effect, and basically, if you can get this out first turn, it completely stuns your opponent from doing anything. And this is a card that is a great example of really good cards that nobody uses for whatever reason. It's not very hard to get out. You can use the substitute fusion monsters to make it, and it's an amazing anti-meta deck. And unlike most anti-meta decks, this deck that I've created is not slow at all. It can get this out first turn and stun your opponent from then on. Now, the video that's going to follow this is I go up against a mermail player. He's not quite using Billy Break's build. He kind of teched in a couple of cards of his own, but it is very, very similar to Billy Break's build, and it completely destroys that deck. So I hope this video will encourage you guys and inspire you guys to look for new cards that are good, that just aren't used, because there's a lot of them. And I hope you guys use some new decks, because I really hate that everybody uses the same decks. So anyway, without further ado, here's the last warrior from another planet. Alright, so as I said before, this is going to be a duel against a mermail player. This is a duel that I had yesterday, and you're going to see that it's not exactly Billy Break's build. He teched in a couple of cards to fit certain situations that he possibly could have run into and feel like these cards are useful. And another thing you're going to see is the speed of this deck right here. So it's opened up pretty nicely, so I'm going to send King of the Swamp to the graveyard to add Polymerization to my hand. Then I'm going to fuse the Zambria and the King of the Swamp in my hand to create the beginning of the end for this player, which is the warrior from the last warrior from another planet. So I'm going to set the lance, and then I'm going to end my turn. And this guy takes a while to make his next move, so I'll talk a little bit about the deck. It's 3 Zambira, 3 Mario Kutai, 3 3 King of the Swamps, 3 Goddess of the Third Eye, 3 Elemental Hero Prisma, Tour Guide, plus Versago the Destroyer. And so there's a lot of ways to get the pieces you need for polymerization. I also added in 2 fusion gates to they weren't in this build that I'm using right now. I added in 2 fusion gates just in case you don't draw polymerization or King of the Swamp. That's another option to increase the speed of you getting the last warrior on the first turn. So another thing about this deck is you don't have to play aggressively. You can play as passive as possible, because they can't do anything, so there's no reason for you to force anything. Like right now, he has a back row. I'm not going to attack because I don't have to. I have a lance set, so I'm protected from pretty much anything. And he was like, come on, just attack, just attack. I'm like, no, I don't need to. So I got a Dark Bribe. They're going to set that as well, so to protect the last warrior even more. Basically what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the card that pretty much solidifies the lock, and I'm going to get it eventually, so I'm not going to reveal it just yet, but I'm just waiting for that card before I start attacking. I do have 2 cards, so I'm pretty much safe as far as protection, so once I get that, then I'll start attacking. He was like, why don't you just attack me? And I was like, man, I'm not running into Raikou. That Man-Eater bug is too powerful. I don't want to run into that. But yeah, so you don't want, the only thing they can do is set cards with the last word from another planet, which is so amazing about it. And so flip effects still work, so that's why I'm not attacking, because I don't want to run into those Raikous or Man-Eater bugs, or, I mean, all types of crazy stuff. What's some more like meta stuff, like Heraldic Beast Basilisk, that thing, that kills you if you attack it, stuff like that. Another meta, what's the card? Night Assailant. I don't want to run into that stuff, so that's why I'm not attacking. He's going to space one of my back row, and I'm going to activate Forbidden Lance and lance my last warrior, and he thought he was upset about that. He thought he had me, and now I'm waiting to use Night Beam. Just waiting until I draw the card that I need. Then I'll just Night Beam something random, and then go from there. So I finally draw what I need, and that's called Hidden Armory. So I'll now Night Beam something. I think I hit a Solemn Judgment, which is really nice. So now I'm in Hidden Armory, so I have to mill one. I milled Prisma, which is really nice because I really don't need him anymore. And I'm going to add Shooting Star Bow Seal to my hand. Now this is an equipped spell card that subtracts your attack by 1,000, but allows you to attack directly. So now I'll never have to worry about running into flip effects. So with the Last Warrior from Another Planet plus Shooting Star Bow Seal, they can't. All they can do is set monsters, and you can just attack them. You can bypass their defenses and attack them directly. So it's really amazing. They can't do anything as long as the Last Warrior from Another Planet is face up on the field. They can't do anything. So Last Warrior plus Shooting Star Bow Seal equals pretty much deck lockdown. As long as it can be Mirror Force, it can be Deep Prison, it can be Book of Moon, all that stuff. And he was calling me a troll. He's like, "Why are you using such a troll deck?" I'm like, "This is not a troll deck. This is a legal card." And now I pull into Prohibition, another card that I take in. So I'm going to prohibit Mystical Space Typhoon. So now he can't hit any of my back row with Space Typhoon, so his only hope at this point to destroy my back row is Heavy Storm. And so now here he tried to lance me, and he was saying, well, now that since I can't attack directly, I have to choose one of his monsters as an attack target, which is not true because it just causes a replay. So when my target changes, I can choose another target if I want to. I can also choose not to choose a target. So obviously that's what I'm going to do. So we were talking about that for a while, and then I just ended my turn. I was like, it's just a battle replay. I don't have to. You never have to destroy a monster or attack a monster unless your effect specifically says so, like a Karakuri. Anyway, so the other cards I run are Prohibition, Shooting Star Bow Seal, Hidden Armory, Triple Dark Bribe, Triple Lance, Triple Polymerization, 2 Fusion Gates. What else? I think I have 1 Starlight Road, which I changed to Huge Revolution because it's kind of stupid to have Starlight Road with the Last Warrior because you can't summon Stardust. So I changed that to Huge Revo. And what else? I think that's about it. So now he's taking another couple minutes to make his next play. He's really trying to think about what he can do in this situation, which is very little that you can do in this situation. Right now, things that can help him are he needs Heavy Storm and Dark Hole. Those are the 2 cards that he would need right now, and it doesn't look like he has either of those right now. So he just sets one and ends his turn. And here I pulled into Versago, and I keep drawing into pulling into monsters. I decided to attack here, and here's where he starts like lowering his life points and then raising it back up and then lowering it back down to 0. And I was like, don't give up, bro. You're on YouTube. So you're gonna look like a douche on YouTube. He's like, no, I just clicked the wrong button. I was like, sure, whatever, man. It's alright. I know that you're frustrated. So anyway, the funny thing about this duel was that my first 6 cards were really good, but then the rest of the cards were just bad. I mean, look, my hand is all monsters. Like, I can't do anything. If I hadn't made it the Last Word from turn 1, I probably would have gotten demolished because I haven't pulled into anything good until like card 8 or 9. But anyway, that's how good the Last Order is, though. You can have an okay hand as long as you get him out first turn with at least 1 card to protect him. You're good. So I kind of last turn. I made a risky play because if he had like a Deep Prison and then plus Dark Hole next turn, that would have hurt me a lot. So I really should have waited until I got like a Night Beam or something. But since I attacked, and luckily enough he didn't chain anything, so that kind of tells me that those 2 aren't anything. Maybe Space Typhoons and Lances again. So here I'm just going to set a card because I really don't want to discard. Now he pulls a Dark Hole. I'm going to Dark Bribe that. And he was very, very upset about that. And he's going to draw 1. So now that he has yet to reveal that he's playing Mermails yet, but now that he's playing Mermails, there's really not much he can do. Finally pull into a Polymerization. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set a bunch of cards, so if he somehow finds a way to get over the Last Warrior, I still have defense so I don't get hit for too much damage, and he can't OTK me. And I also have enough I have the right cards in my hand to make it again if it comes to that, but it's not looking like it's going to ever come to that, so he sets another card face down, and I'm just gonna set again because again I don't want to risk anything because I don't have to. Keeping the Last Warrior on the field face up as long as possible is going to benefit me the most. So I'm just waiting until I get another Dark Bribe or another Forbidden Lance, and then I'll start attacking again. And maybe even wait till I have 2 or 3 because he could. And then this is where he reveals that he is playing Mermails. So he sends Marksman and Heavy Infantry to the grave to summon Abyss Megalo, and I'm like, he's like, this is a tribute summon. And I was like, well, buddy, a tribute summon is still a normal summon, so you'd have to tribute set that if you wanted to make that play. So the funny thing is him revealing that he was playing Mermails right now tells me that his back row isn't anything, so I can attack freely, and that kind of sealed his fate because the way I was playing, he could have just let me draw cards until I, until I decked out, I guess, because I'm not attacking back row until I'm for sure that's not anything. So I know the two in the middle aren't anything, and then the two on the ends must or something. So I hit an Abyss Sphere, and that's pretty much it. That tells me he can't do anything. So the duel's pretty much over at this point. And the thing about how good this is against mermails, they can't Abyss Sphere, they can't Abyss Megalo, they can't discard it for any of them and special summon anything. I mean, they're pretty much shut down. And from turn 1, he was over. A tier 1 deck was destroyed from turn 1. How many times can you say that? You know, and this deck does well against all the meta. You know, Dino Rabbits, Mermails, Fire King, all that stuff. Fire Fist. You can't normal summon. I mean, what are you gonna do? And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it encouraged you guys to look at the cards. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of cards. Well, not that many, but there's a lot of cards, and there are a lot of good cards that are getting overlooked because people are just so set on playing these 5-6 different decks, and there's so many other good decks. So I hope this encourages you guys to, you know, find out some other cards that aren't very popular, that aren't widely known, that aren't used, like the Last Warrior from Another Planet, and make a deck revolving around them. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and all the other good stuff. And this is going to be MJM for life out of here. I'm out of here. Deuces.